Hello and welcome to a channel update for the end of August / start of September. We'll call it the end of summer channel update. In this update we're going to be talking about what's going to be on the channel in the next couple of months, and we're going to be talking about some other stuff like the fact that I should sound different. I am using a new microphone. This new microphone is very nice, however I have no idea how to unleash its full potential, so any feedback that you can give over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks will be very helpful. Just tell me whether it sounds right, whether it sounds wrong, am I cutting out? I shouldn't be cutting out, that's the one thing that I checked and made 100% sure of, but there's some other stuff with it that I'm not 100% happy with, but hopefully I sound better. Anyway, apart from the new mic, what else is going on? Well, the end of August / start of September is going to be a very busy time for the channel. Let's just scroll down and have a look, shall we? Upcoming, we have Crusader Kings 3 on September 1st. We also have Wasteland 3 on August 28th, and the next Fire Emblem series is going to start August 31st. So, end of August is extremely busy time. Followed by the end of September, we've got the Baldur's Gate 3 release date, and then in November we got Cyberpunk. So it is a very large amount of things that are happening over, well, you know, the next couple of months. Also, the channel has been doing extremely well over the last month. Mostly the credit belongs to the Glorious Gnome series, because it is one of my most viewed series ever, and it's only been out for like a month. In fact, less than a month. And it is very much up there as one of my most viewed series ever. Which is crazy because some of the other ones have had literally years to gather views, and then this one's right up there. So that is fantastic, and I'm really happy about that. It has also shown me, and rather cemented the fact, that Crusader Kings 2 is still by far the most watched thing on the channel, which is kind of neat. There's actually one series on here that isn't there as well, which is the Succession series, which isn't getting as many views as the Glorious Gnomes, but it is the Game of Thrones mod, and it's not a full series for me, so I wasn't really expecting that. It has other purposes. The Succession series, if you don't know, is basically I'm playing a game with 5 other YouTubers, and we each play 25 minutes of the save file and then pass it to the next person. What this does is it means that you get a very different playstyle from episode to episode, and it makes long-term plans difficult to do, but it more satisfying if it works out, I would say, because if you have a long-term plan work out and it's gone through 5 different people and everyone's like, I know what I need to do to make my part of that plan work, then that's fantastic and you get a great feeling at the end of it. Right now, I have no idea how everyone else is doing, as all the episodes have not gone up yet, so I'm actually, I think, 6 episodes ahead in terms of recording, so it's kind of crazy in terms of what exactly could have happened in between one episode and the next episode in terms of my recording stuff, so that's kind of neat. So that's what's going on with Crusader Kings. The Glorious Gnome series, by the way, has a very solid end date. The end date is, let me scroll down, the 1st of September. Why is that the end date for the series? Well, Crusader Kings 3 comes out, and that has to be the focus, and that's what's going to happen with the series. There's going to be a lot of Crusader Kings 3 content. I would suspect that I am going to do at least 2 series of Crusader Kings 3, plus I will probably stream it, and then on top of that there may be other videos here and there for generic things like how to install a mod, all that sort of stuff, which you get with each Paradox game but are important to put out. So that's the kind of content I'd be expecting to see from a Crusader Kings point of view. In terms of other things though, we do have other things on the channel. Wasteland 3, August 28th, so my plan for that is to try and backlog a bit of Wasteland 3 on the 28th of August. Oh, one thing about Crusader Kings 3, there are pre-release copies going out, but everybody's embargo is the 1st of September for recorded content, and it's the 31st of August for streaming content. I have currently not got it confirmed whether I'm getting a key or not, but either way, because everyone gets access to the game on the 1st of September, you know, or not everyone gets access, because everybody is only able to put out their content on the 1st of September, you can expect mine to come out the same day as everyone else's anyway. That's basically what I'm saying about that. Anyway, so Wasteland 3 is coming out on the 28th of August. Assuming that I don't have access to Crusader Kings 3 by then, which is why I was mentioning it, I would be basically planning to backlog a little bit of Wasteland 3, but starting then, in order to have a reasonable amount so that it goes over the Crusader Kings dates. So there's going to be a lot of Wasteland 3 content, and that's going to be pretty much my sole recording thing for those couple of days. Stellaris. Stellaris, I'm planning on backlogging now. As in, pretty much when I end this video, I'm going to go and record a ton of Stellaris. Because one, I'm trying out my new mic, and to be fair, Stellaris is a series that does, like, it's not gathering a ton of new views. So if there are issues with the mic, unfortunately, one series is going to take the hit, and Stellaris is going to be it. So I'm going to basically record a ton of Stellaris and then just listen back to it and go, is this sounding right? Is there any bits that aren't quite there? So that's my plan with that. So I'm going to record a ton of Stellaris, and the idea for that is for that to basically record to the end of the series. So we'll see how that works. I don't think we're that far away now. We're like 34 years away, and we're going about 3 years an episode. So I'm expecting about 10 episodes for us to reach the endgame crisis. So it might be over fairly soon. If Stellaris ends before Crusader Kings 3 comes out, I'm not going to be replacing it with another Stellaris series right away. It would be replaced, but its slot would be taken up by another Crusader Kings 3 series. That would be my plan ahead of time. All depends how things all slot together, how my time works out, and all that sort of stuff. Next, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, we have just finished the Blue Lions playthrough, also known as Azure Moon. And we're moving on to the Silver Snow playthrough, which is another Black Eagles playthrough. However, it's a Black Eagles playthrough where there's a certain choice somewhere through the game which changes what route you go on, and that's what we're going to be doing. And that will be our final Fire Emblem Three Houses series. In fact, I can actually click here and go, bloop, finish that one. So what we're going to do after that for Fire Emblem, I'm not 100% sure. It really depends on what's announced by Nintendo, because if they announce a new, well, it's not Nintendo who make it, is there? It's somebody, anyway, it's what's announced by whoever makes it. But if they announce a new thing for Fire Emblem, like new DLC or a new game entirely, obviously that would be next on the list. If they don't announce anything, then I would be thinking that our next plan would be to play an older Fire Emblem game. I don't know what Fire Emblem game that would be. Ideally, it would have to be on a device I own, like, say, the Switch, but I don't think there are any others on the Switch, so we'll need to think about that. I don't have the ability to record DS or anything. I don't have the ability to record any of the older ones, so I'll need to think about it. We may use the secrets of, you know, the dark internet powers in order to play some of them on the PC, but we'll see. We'll get to it when we get to it, basically. What else have we got? Persona 4 Golden. I believe that we are going towards the end of the game. I don't think we're quite as near the end as the game would like us to think. I think we've still got quite a bit left, but we are in at least the second half of the game, if not the last quarter, I would say. After Persona 4 Golden is ended, what are we going to do? Well, I'm not 100% sure. I think what we're going to do with Persona 4 after it's ended is we might play... I think there's a Persona 4 spin-off game, so if there's a way to get that, that might be cool. And then my idea afterwards would be to play Persona 5 Royale. However, I don't have that yet, because my plan is to, when the PlayStation 5 comes out, get that and then play it on the PlayStation 5. Because I believe the PlayStation 5 has backwards compatibility, or at least that's what is being said. So it would make sense, instead of buying a PlayStation 4 just to play this one game, to wait till the new consoles are out and then use that, and then that would also allow us to play all sorts of other things on that new PlayStation console. However, I'm not there yet. We're not there yet. We'll think about it when it comes to the end of the series and see what exactly works out best. I do want to play Persona 5. I also want to play Persona 3. However, I'm not entirely sure what to do with that. I know you can emulate it. I know it was on the... Well, I know you can emulate it because I've done it before, but I've only done it for like the first 10 hours of the game, and then I was like, I don't get this. This is weird. I'm going to turn it off now. Where's Call of Duty? That was kind of where I was at that point in time. So, yeah, Persona 3, I think, is also rumored to be coming to PC. What would be absolutely perfect is if Persona 4 ends and then like the next week they say, hey, Persona 3 is now on, you know, it's now on PC. That would be absolutely perfect. That would solve all the problems, and that's what I'm meaning. Until the series ends, I'm not entirely sure what's going to replace it. Anyway, streaming. Actually, no, let's talk about the one other series we've got that isn't streaming, which is Life is Strange 2. I am planning on finishing that off. We have a very good point right now to finish it off because we've got a moment where I only actually have 3 series going, as in 3 videos going each day. So that's Persona, CK3, Glorious Gnomes, and Stellaris. So that gives us a really good spot to record some extra stuff like Life is Strange and just get that finished off. It's a fun game, and I'm excited to see how it ended, because I believe the last one left on a cliffhanger, so if anybody's waiting for that, I do apologise, but yes, just been trying to find time with all of the different things that we've been doing. Right, let's talk about streaming. Streaming, there are now 2 streams a week, hopefully. It is Final Fantasy IX and Sekiro. Final Fantasy IX is every Friday at 2:30 BST, and Sekiro is every Sunday at 2:30 BST. I think I have it at 2 o'clock there, but I think it's going to be at 2:30. We'll see, we'll see. It might be at 2 o'clock. But Final Fantasy IX is going to be... I'm going to try and extend the stream's length a little bit, because I know that there's another channel I've been doing some multiplayer streaming with called Nerds Like Nerds, and that's on Twitch. And basically they've been streaming, they're going to be streaming every Friday, I think, at like 7:30 my time. So I think I might go for like 5-hour Final Fantasy streams and then just pass people over to them at the end of it. So that's my general plan with that. But yeah, also talking about them, it's also been interesting with their Discord. They just put one up, and I was looking at it and going, okay, so they've got a lot more setup, and I'm trying to make my Discord a little bit more usable. Right now our Discord is basically just here's a general chat. I'm going to try and add more categories and more things as it goes along. I'm still working it out. The Discord was basically just there to, you know, it just exists because everybody had a Discord at that moment. It was like, oh, you've got a channel, why don't you have a Discord? So I created a Discord, but it didn't really have any purpose. I'm trying to give it some purpose. Right now, the main purpose it has is for you to suggest things for Crusader Kings 3. I have a channel in there for Crusader Kings 3 suggestions. I'm taking ideas for what people want to see as a start. I think I know one of the series I want to do, but the other one is still up in the air. I think I want to do an England series for Crusader Kings 3. I haven't done one in CK2, and it's usually a very good start for Crusader Kings games because you got the 1066 start, you got the people from Denmark coming over, you got the Normans coming up. It's a very good start for a lot of chaos, and so I think that's what one of the series I want to do. I don't know what I want to do for the other ones, so that one is completely up in the air and can be bought with a good idea. So yeah, that's for Crusader Kings 3 ones. Current series for our streaming: Sekiro, Final Fantasy IX. If there's anything else you want to see while streaming, please let me know, because I am thinking of doing another day. I am also thinking of doing Crusader Kings 3 streaming when it comes out, which would make sense. So that's going to probably be looking at that. I'm just thinking that'll probably be like a Wednesday or Tuesday thing, something earlier in the week. I like to leave a few days between streams, and the reason for that is I don't want to have to choose between recording and streaming, because obviously YouTube's going to win out most of the time, and I don't want to cancel streams at the last second. Unfortunately, I did have to cancel the last Sekiro stream, but you know, we'll move on from that. So yeah, that's pretty much everything with the channel. Is there anything else we should talk about? Well, things that are happening in the future. Cyberpunk, that's still November, so that's still a while off, if it comes out in November. Baldur's Gate 3, I actually watched the latest live stream for it, and it looks really cool. Like, it looks insanely better than the first time I saw it. I mean, the combat, it's like, the bits out of combat, you're like, oh, that's really neat. And it goes into combat, and you're like, oh, that's Divinity Original Sin 2. you know, but that's alright. Divinity's combat's fairly cool. Vampire, I don't think has been announced for release date. There are some other ones in here. Avowed, I believe, is the Pillars of Eternity RPG that was just announced, well, just announced this month by, what's it? By Obsidian, yep. And it's a RPG in the style of Skyrim set in the Pillars of Eternity world. So by that, I mean it's like a first-person RPG. At least that's how it's been described, so that seems cool. Fable is something I want to try out. I might stream the older Fable games as well. I do actually have an Xbox, so that is a possibility for us to do it. So I think we could stream the older Fable games and then play the new Fable game whenever it comes out, but that's kind of like I want to do it at some point. Definitely want to get to the Baldur's Gate DLC, and I should probably do that. See, I'm trying to think, when can I fit that in? There's no slot on this. Probably after Wasteland 3, I think I'll go back and play the Baldur's Gate DLC, and then probably play Baldur's Gate 2. And then in terms of everything else, I have other things I want to do. I want to play the new Stalker game, I want to play the older Stalker games, but when is that fitting into the schedule? Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking with the extra stream day. It could probably fill in a lot of these gaps for like things I want to be on the channel but don't have a slot for videos on. Because in terms of streaming, you can get through games a lot quicker in streaming because people are a lot more willing to watch large amounts of streaming content than they are to watch large amounts of video content. Let me put it like this. If I was to release a series on Final Fantasy IX and I was to play 5 hours a day of Final Fantasy IX, nobody would watch it, right? It would be complete, like, it would just be a complete dead thing. It just wouldn't happen, right? But if I put out 5 hours of streaming content, people will watch that. That's an actual thing that people will watch, they'll interact with, and that's kind of the difference I see in some of the streaming stuff is you can put out more streaming content because the idea isn't that you watch the whole thing. Like, yes, you can watch the whole thing, but for streaming, you will generally only watch a bit, and then you'll hop out, like you'll go get lunch, and then you'll come back, and then you might watch some more, and then you might, you know, go away for something else, and then you can come back, and the thing will still be there, it'll still be going on, you can just hop back in whenever, right? Well, if it's a video, I feel like there's a little bit more of a compulsion to watch the whole thing. So, with a video, you wouldn't just leave it running, walk away and make lunch with the video still running, and then come back and just pick up wherever it's left off. That, at least to me, doesn't seem how you do it. You'd pause the video, you'd come back, then you'd watch a little bit more, and then, you know, that 5 hours can take a long time. That can take a lot longer than 5 hours to actually watch. So I see there's a slight difference there in terms of how things would all be put together. So that's basically my thoughts on it. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, anyway, I think it's a good point to end the episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.